Hey there, good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with a Battle of the Bands for day 26th, battle number 26, on March the 26th. So this is the second battle of the third round. Yes, second battle of the third round? Yeah. Second battle of the third round. Sorry, I was trying to remember what the other ones were. So the first one went pretty good. This one's a little bit different. The two bands in the first battle were very similar. These two bands are nothing alike. Couldn't be more different if you tried. You got one band that's kind of a bluesy, heavy, lots of guitar soloing, like tons of guitar soloing, lots of heavy riffing, but lots of heavy guitar soloing. Pretty loud too, and great production, but really strong guitar playing here. It's almost, in some of the songs, is almost bordering on jam sessions, where with the other album you've got lots of heavy riffing, hard rock, not a ton of soloing and not too severe on the soloing part. So they're very different albums. So you've got Frank Marino and Mahoghany Rush's 1981 The Power of Rock and Roll. The other album is Iggy Pop's Instinct album from 1988. Very different albums. So basically, the Frank Marino, the opening song for Frank Marino, I really like a lot. I like it because it's got that kind of catchy rockin' song. The vocals are, in that Kim Mitchell kind of range. Doesn't sound like Kim Mitchell, but there are some aspects of it that do give a hint of Kim Mitchell in there. And his soloing, of course, is breakneck, off the chart stuff. The second song, and that's my favorite song on the album. From there on in, it's just basically fives and sixes all the way down to the bottom. Play the music really good. Again, another really heavy riffing with a great solo that continues pretty much for the rest of the song. He's got a bit of a raspy sound to his voice on this particular track as well. Stay With Me, another solo dominated track with some catchy heavy beats in it as well. Running Wild starts out with that kind of heavy drum opening, and then lots of upstroking kind of riffing. He does do the downstroking riff, but there's a lot of upstroking riffing here. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Just really, really strong guitar dominated song as well. Crazy Miss Daisy, I like this song. It's probably my second on their favorite album. It's got a kind of a bluesy, heavy bluesy riff to it. And then, of course, there's that kind of southern bluesy feel to the whole song. Go Strange. Lots of guitar soloing on this. Very fast-paced song. And the rhythm section is very strong on this as well. Younger Man, really catchy riff on this song. Lots of soloing again. More of that Kim Mitchell type vocaling. And then the last track, Ain't Dead Yet. Heavy soloing in the opening part and lots of heavy riffing and soloing throughout this whole song. So the album is very heavy. I'd say it's heavier than a lot of heavy metal albums, but it doesn't strike me as a heavy metal album. It's definitely a hard rock album. His vocals are good, perfect for this type of music he's playing here, I think. And his guitar soloing is just continuous on all of the songs. The last song has got that kind of guitar, drum, bass. Everybody's going mental on this song. It's just really what do you call it? A jamming session. That's what I was trying to think of the word. And this real big jamming session on the last track. So overall, pretty strong album. The other album, Iggy Pop's Instinct album from 1988. This one doesn't have as much as soloing. It does do its little solo parts, usually around the halfway to 3/4 mark on almost every track. A lot more riffing. Every song has its own riff, and they stick to that riff like glue through the most song. The first song is my favorite, catchy, heavy riff. Lots of kind of raw, almost Alice Cooper-like range vocals here. Really strong, great track, really catchy. High on You, another catchy track with some heavy riffing. Vocals are a little more kind of subdued here, more Bowie-like, I think. And there's a nice kind of guitar solo on this one as well. Strong Girl, this one is probably my second favorite on the album. Real catchy, hard rockin' riff here, with a real catchy beat as well. And most of the rest of the songs are like that, just different catchy types of beat. Each one of them has its own kind of beat, but they're all pretty much the same. Right down to, where is it? I'm looking for it. The Instinct, which is the album title. The catchy riff with lots of, this one's very fast paced. Much faster than a lot of the other stuff on the album. And then the Turf Baby is another one with heavy riffing, but also has a kind of a bass part to it, which is kind of interesting. More Bowie-like vocals on most of these tracks as well. The last song, which is Squarehead, is probably the only one on the album. I don't really like that one. I think it's starting to go a little too punky for me, and I just didn't like the whole feel of the song. It's the only one on the album that I didn't give a pass to. Everything else was great. So then it just comes down to which one do I like better and why. Well, I like the Frank Marino guitar part. He's got a lot of really, nobody on either album is even close to him talent-wise. But it isn't just about talent-wise, it's just which songs are catchier to me. Well, I like The Power of Rock and Roll, that song, and I do like Crazy Miss Daisy. They're very different, but like real catchy tunes. But with Iggy Pop, it's Coldplay and Strong Girl. Those are the two I like the most. But mostly, the songs on Iggy Pop are a little more catchy, a little more friendly towards getting into than the Frank Marino album. That I found towards the end of the album, all that guitar soloing was just starting to give me a bit of a headache. But, I mean, I recognize the guy has extraordinary talent. If you were just going on talent, he blows the other band away. Not even close. But if you're going on, part of listening to music is listening to something that appeals to you and catchy. And I find the Iggy Pop album more catchy and more appealing than the Frank Marino album. So, and I think Frank Marino kind of peaked with me on the last battle. He's kind of sliding a bit here, and I think he'll slide even further because it's starting to wear on me. Where the Iggy Pop album had its kind of down, it did really well in the opening one, a little bit down on the second one, has picked it up a little bit more on this thing. So I think for me, going forward, I'm going to pick Iggy Pop. He's going to win this battle. And Frank Marino is finished for the tournament, but still a really great album. If you like that Stevie Ray Vaughan, heavy guitar playing and lots of soloing and jamming and stuff like that, that's a great album for you. He actually does more jamming than Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan tends to pick a spot during the song where he does a crazy solo, but then the song is very catchy riff-wise, where not as much with Frank Marino stuff. Anyway, so Iggy Pop wins this battle, and this will come out tomorrow morning, 26th. So please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And if you got any comments about either of the two, by all means, put them down below. Anyways, it was fun doing this one. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good night. Goodbye.